I understand what you've said a number of times about your intent and the internality, if there is such a word, of the exercise here. But the question I'm trying to get at is different. Would you expect that a Tai Chi Chuan master looking at your video in the performance of Open Arms Like a Fan would agree with you that it clearly is not a Tai Chi Chuan exercise?
Probably.
And what do you believe would be the basis for that view?
Objection calls for speculation.
You understand that I would be hypothesizing. I'm not sure that's something that I'm supposed to do.
Well, I understand that your intent was not to perform a Tai Chi Chuan posture called Open Arms Like a Fan. I understand that. But what in those frames, or what in the moving video would be consistent with an understanding that that was not what you were doing?
Okay, that's...
Is that a better way to say it?
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right.
This is what I would say about that. In a number of ways. Specifically, the introduction to the video clearly talks about only the development of strength that we can accomplish through using chi movement. I'm at a loss to remember exactly how I said it, but we, in all ways possible, avoided any reference to Tai Chi Chuan. That we talked a lot about Chinese medicine and internal energy and the four characteristics of classical mind-body exercise: alignment, breath, relaxation, and visualization. That, in addition, there is a purposeful lack of any martial intent, which does, in, as I said before, subtle ways, but recognizable ways to those hypothetical Tai Chi masters that you talk about, are observable. So when I do a movement with martial intent, and then again without martial intent, they can tell that, they can see that. That's why they give one person in the competition arena higher marks than another. Furthermore, there is a assiduous attention not to recreate the choreography of the classical Tai Chi Chuan forms, sequences. In fact, on page 9, when it says the first movement is called Open Arms Like a Fan, to my knowledge, there are no Tai Chi Chuan routines which begin with that movement, as an example of how I tried all kinds of different techniques to make it very distinct from what might be confused with classical Tai Chi Chuan routines, movements, postures, intentions.
Okay. Now, Mr. Ross, you've described some remarks that were made in the introduction.
Yes, sir.
And you've described other things. But my question is, if you only look at the minutes and seconds of footage which deals with Open Arms Like a Fan, what about that physical footage would tell the viewer that it's not a Tai Chi Chuan movement, exercise, posture, whatever you want to call it?
It would depend upon the viewer. If you're asking me about a novice who knows nothing, I would say that the whole thing makes no sense unless you watch it from beginning to end. If you take a piece out of the middle, like they say, you're taking it out of context, and I don't know what you could get out of it. I don't know what kind of inferences you might say. Maybe somebody looked at it and said, this guy's stoned. You know, I don't know. I'm sorry to be humorous. But, so a novice would only make sense out of the video, would only be able to utilize this thing by watching it from beginning to end and listening to the introduction, etc. An expert, on the other end of the scale, would notice by a variety of things which I purposefully left out or included, like a lack of martial intent, a change in the choreography, a lesser attention to precision of movement, and a greater emphasis on the physical effect that you would get from doing the movements in a more physically minded way rather than an energetically or martially minded way. And this is lower body chi for beginners, and we talk about strength. And the project was begun as a way of helping people see that you could be getting a physical workout along with getting a energetic workout if you did it in this way.